Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Seed with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Wow, lots of crazy, interesting news going on in the digital asset space today. DBS launching the crypto service. Singapore is making absolutely more moves. I believe with another bank opening up as well. Michael at Valve Filings has just been absolutely straight fire on Twitter. James Rule XRP is and XRP Joe have just been doing their thing. I tell you, the XRP community is absolutely outstanding. Guys, we appreciate everything that you do. We appreciate that you take your time, your energy, and your resources to share with this community, and it does not go unnoticed. We appreciate you guys big time. Listen, the market is doing what the market does. Some really kind of interesting stuff going on right now. By the way, guys, I have to point this out before I go any further. As the Celsius network has now added UMA as a token that you can deposit and earn interest. Uni as the token that you can deposit and earn interest. Decentraland as a token that you can deposit and earn interest. They do have a loan special going on right now where you can get $100 in BTC for taking out a loan. So you definitely want to check out the link in the description of every single video that I do. Learn more about that platform. It is an absolute game changer. Mondays are a lot of people for Monday is the worst day of the week for us. And the Crypto Seeders Home Monday is one of the best days of the week, because that when we see that interest, we see that it's absolutely amazing to get that interest every single week for just simply depositing our assets on a platform. So it is really cool. Double figures for stablecoin interest, double figures for Matic, double figures for I think synthetics as well. Massive, absolutely massive interest. The highest BTC payout and ETH, BTC and ETH payouts in the space of DeFi in terms of interest. So wow, really excited about that. But the market, let's see what the market is doing. I thought I saw the BTC was 13,000 plus, huh? 13,000 plus. That is really exciting to see. Is staying above 13,000, and it would figure that my Binance app is updating as I want to check that. But guys, man, some really great stuff going on. Man, I got this from a Michael at Valve 5 links on Twitter, and look, I don't know. Yeah, this was something that came from Michael Arrington. Compliments of Michael Arrington. There is growing concern within the Trump administration that the Security and Exchange Commission chairman, Jay Clayton, is not doing enough to counter growing Chinese dominance in digital currency. I didn't go to the Michael Arrington Twitter feed, but if Michael put this out, it is 100% legit that Michael Arrington put it out, right? So if Michael at Valve 5 Links tweeted this out, and he said that his compliments of Michael Arrington, I believe this is straight up from Michael Arrington. I'm going to go over this article, but boy, are you not hearing this? The Trump administration is concerned that the SEC is not doing enough. What? To counter the growing Chinese dominance in digital currency. Let's go to this article. What have we been saying? What have we been saying on this channel for I don't know how long? Right? For how long have we been saying there is no way that this current administration is going to let Singapore, is going to let Japan, is going to let the UK shout from the rooftops the genius that is Ripple Labs and their technology. with over 400 partnerships. Transactions in second, immutable ledger, not a single error. Tens of millions of closed transactions. Tens of millions of closes on that ledger. They're going to let, there's no way that this current administration is going to let the praises be sung about a good old US of A company and let it slip through his hands. And now, first we had the executive order 13772 come out years ago, talking about a new financial system, where Ripple was mentioning that. And then we got the another Trump order, executive order about allowing the agencies to do the things that they, right, lifting, just unshackling, right, just cut the chains loose and let these agencies do what they need to do. And then we got the another executive order about AI and 5G and DLT. And now this is an interesting thing here. So this is from Breitbart.com. Trump administration concerned that the SEC is ceding digital currency control to China. What? Is this not what Larson? Is this not what Chris Larson spoke of? Is this not what Brad Garlinghouse spoke of and continues to speak of? I was going to title this video, When Ripple Labs Speaks, POTUS Listens. This is an interesting thing here. And again, Michael Pivlinks shared that this came from Michael Arrington, pointing out this particular article. There is growing concern within the Trump administration that Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Jay Clayton is not doing enough to counter growing Chinese dominance in digital currency, which will harm American companies wishing to compete in what is seen as the future of currency. Now, again, this is someone from Breitbart.com writing the thing. I don't know if it's true. Don't know if there's concern. There's a bunch of quotes in here. There's a bunch of quotes in here. I'm part of a Discord that says that Clayton had we've said this on this channel before, right? Garlinghouse and what's his name? Chris Larson. They don't have that relationship, CFTC, SEC, in the same way that Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and perhaps Bank of America does with the regulators. They just don't. They don't have a long-standing relationship with the SEC and the CFTC. They don't. They're new to this game. And I gotta tell you, I'm part of a Discord that said that Clayton is in bed. That's not my words, their words. In bed with the largest banks in the world. I don't know if it's correct, but my understanding is his wife is pretty high up in Goldman Sachs. Look, those places, those banks, they like the friction that's in the banking system. That's where they make their money. And again, Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse they're establishing a relationship. They're looking to establish a relationship with the likes of the SEC and the CFTC. Goldman Sachs and the boys and JP Morgan, the boys, they already got one. It's a long-standing relationship. Gotta understand that. Got to understand that. It does make you wonder that why BTC and ETH got the nod, got the blessing. Completely controlled in China. And perhaps this is something that Garlinghouse and Chris Larson understood when it comes to Jay Clayton. Perhaps. I've seen Garlinghouse and Larson with with people from the IMF, pretty significant. pretty significant people be able to get up with the eye. Never see them hanging out with people from the SEC. I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen it. Maybe they just can't. I don't know. But let me read on. President Trump has moved aggressively throughout his tenure to respond to China's attempt to dominate emerging technologies through a plan called Made in China 2025, which will determine things as critical as the future of the world's manufacturing and communications. But concern with Clayton has been growing for months about what the Trump administration sees as his counterproductive approach as head of the agency that makes determination on how the US government regulates digital assets. Are you? And again, we're going to get some of the deep divers and deep researchers to verify the verification of the verification. But this is absolutely outstanding. So far, under Clayton, the SEC has concluded that only 2 digital assets should be considered non-securities regulated under the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, which is a better regulatory environment than the SEC. Those 2 digital assets are the Chinese-controlled Bitcoin and Ether. The president has rightly identified China as our geopolitical foe and has smartly maneuvered to thwart their aggression through his trade negotiations, rebuilding of the military, and his overall economic plan, a senior administration official said. So when you look toward the future, digital currency is going to be a major front in the broader economic battle. These are quotes. We need to make sure that the SEC is not putting American companies at a disadvantage because China is making a major play in the crypto space. And again, we'll get the verification, the validity, and the verification of this particular article from the deep divers. That's what they do. And we're glad that they do it. But this is some interesting stuff. That was a quote, both of those sentences, quotes. Let me read that again. So when you look toward the future, digital currency is going to be a major front in the broader economic battle. We need to make sure that the SEC is not putting American companies at a disadvantage because China is making a major play in the crypto space. And here's what I will tell you, that this current administration will figure out a way to get the right person in place so that they no longer have those concerns. And my understanding, I thought that, I'm not sure if Clayton was on his way out or not, but I believe that he is. But the fact that this is like, a lot of people think, yeah, they're not really paying attention. Not really paying attention to what China's got going on. They're not concerned. Yeah, I mean, you just totally disregard the Ken Kurson relationship, the Greg Kidd relationship. You just totally regard what's Kushner, that whole thing. Just totally disregard that. Just totally disregard all the meetings with people from Ripple and the current administration. A senior intelligence official added, digital currency is a national security issue. And what China has done to hold the majority of certain digital currencies is something that's on our radar. I'm just, I'm quoting the guy, apparently. Senior intelligence official added. What? Anyway, and again, you can go check it out, see if Michael Arrington put this out. Michael Vidling said, compliments of Michael Arrington. I think it's the reason that Michael Arrington perhaps tweeted this out. China's head start in digital currency could potentially put the Chinese Communist Party in control of the world's payments and currency. I don't know, but I'm feeling like 2020 and the year of the digital asset is coming more and more to fruition. It just feels that way. Earlier this month, China's central bank has distributed brand new digital renminbi currency in several major cities to lottery winners who are already reportedly spending it at thousands of retailers, including supermarkets, pharmacies, and even Walmart. Axios recently reported. In contrast, a group of Western central banks, including the Fed, issued a report last week detailing foundational principles for a potential digital currency. China is already test driving the future of finance, while the rest of the world is stuck trying to get its learner's permit. This is Axios' Dion Rubin wrote. There is also mounting frustration with Clayton from Republicans in Congress who see China racing to leapfrog ahead of the United States in this emerging technology. Now, this is the first that I've heard that people have, besides Larson and Garlinghouse, who would not call any name out in particular. They didn't call anyone in any particular regulator out. They just said that we need like regulatory clarity, and they pointed to what's going on in China. Now we're getting the name attached to the challenge. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're getting a name attached to the challenge. So Senator Tom Cotton, we all know Tom Cotton, expresses concerns about Clayton in a July 30th, 2020 letter to the White House. I did not know of such a thing. And the nation's top intelligence official obtained exclusively by Breitbart News. Breitbart News. Never heard of such a thing. In a letter to the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, and National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, Cotton wrote, the continued lack of regulatory clarity not only hurts the U.S. developed digital assets, it puts Americans' national and economic security gravely at risk. So this letter mentioned digital assets. Cotton said he first sent a letter to Clayton in December of 2018 with his concern about received an unsatisfactory response. He said since then, how about that? An unsatisfactory response. He said since then, the threat posed to U.S. technological innovation by China since I first wrote Chairman Clayton has grown substantially more acute. It was a letter to Clayton in 2018, apparently from Senator Cotton, according to Breitbart. He added, in 2018, Chinese President Xi Jinping heralded the importance of blockchain to China's future. Today, President Xi continues to push aggressively for Chinese dominance in blockchain, having recently stated in a speech to members of the Politburo that more attention should be paid to research and boosting innovation capacity to help China gain an edge in the theoretical, innovative, and industrial aspects of his emerging field. Our government should not voluntarily cede that ground by failing to create a level playing field for US-based companies through the development of clear policy that allows them to compete fairly against foreign competitors. The threat that our regulatory inertia poses to our national and economic security cannot be overstated, and the time to act is now. Breitbart News reached out to the SEC on Friday for a response, but did not receive one by the deadline. Well, isn't that interesting? This is wow. Again, rumor on the street and Discord that I'm part of said that Clayton, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just I'm not saying it. I'm saying this was said in the Discord. Was in bed, quote unquote, with the likes of Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. And that, according to the Discord, that the wife was pretty high up at Goldman Sachs. Here's what I do know. That the people from Goldman's and JP Morgan, Bank of America, what have you, they have a long-standing relationship with the people from the CFTC and the SEC. That's what I do know. That's what I do know. And Garlinghouse, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson do not. And let us not forget that they love the friction. They make money from the friction. Ripple is trying to eliminate the friction. So that's cutting into their, their treasure chest, if you will, treasure trove, right? It's cutting into that barrel of money, that wheelbarrow money. I mean, that is a fact. So, hey, if you can put this off and kind of put this off, but who's the greatest, who, put it to you this way, whose technology is the greatest threat to friction in the payment system, the bank payment system? Yeah, absolutely. We all know it's Ripple. We all know it's their technology. We all know it. The banks know, the 9,990 banks who have to pay to play with the top 8 to 10 banks, they know it as well. This, my friends, is absolutely some golden stuff. I'm sure there will be some videos, and I may even go live to talk about this and go over this again. This is Trump administration concerned that SEC ceding digital currency control to China. Wow, I don't even know if I ain't going over anything else other than that, to be honest with you. What? This thing is still updating. Are you kidding me? That is some massive news. That is some massive news. Let me see how long I've been going. 24 minutes. Guys, that is, I'm going to end this video with this here. I just think that is absolutely interesting stuff. Let's get the deep divers to check this out some more, get some verification of the verification, if you will. It's important that we do that. But wow. This is some interesting stuff coming out from Breitbart. This is interesting stuff. There is growing concern within the Trump administration that the Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Jay Clayton is not doing enough to counter growing Chinese dominance in digital currency, which will harm American companies wishing to compete in what is seen as the future of currency. President Trump, let me read this one, but concern with Clayton has been growing for months about what the Trump administration sees as his counterproductive approach as head of the agency that makes the determinations on how the United States government regulates digital assets. What? I don't remember ever seeing a name being attached to the regulatory clarity. Now we got a name. Now they are calling out a particular person, a particular regulator. Wow. Interesting, guys. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. That old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, but we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sideline? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.